Most people assume their car is ready. It's not. It works until it doesn't. And when something fails, it usually happens in the worst place, at the worst time. Side of the road. Late at night. Bad weather. No signal. That's when you find out what you're missing. I've seen real roadside situations, breakdowns, delays, sudden failures, where the difference between a quick fix and a serious problem came down to what was already in the vehicle. Not what you planned to buy. Not what you left at home. What you had. 9 items. Always in the car. Right now. No overkill. No wasted space. Each one solves a real failure point. And one of these items costs under $10, but can save you hours of waiting if your vehicle won't start. Start here. Item 1. Jumper cables, because a dead battery stops everything. It's one of the most common failures. Battery dies, and that's it. You're not moving. You're not getting home. You're waiting. Cold weather drains batteries fast. Heat wears them down over time. And failure rarely gives warning. Most drivers don't carry a solution. They carry a problem. A solid set of jumper cables costs around $15 to $20. No electronics. No complexity. Just a direct fix. During real roadside situations, the difference between someone stuck for hours and someone driving away in minutes is usually this one item. Even if you don't know how to use them perfectly, someone nearby does. But only if you have the cables. No cables? No solution. You're relying on help that may not come quickly. This isn't convenience. It's mobility. Because your car only matters if it starts. Item 2. Spare tire plus jack. Because flats don't wait for help. It's one of the oldest problems on the road. And it still catches people unprepared. A flat tire doesn't care where you are. Pilot. Empty road. Late at night. Bad weather. It happens fast. And here's the reality. Roadside assistance isn't instant. You could be waiting 30 minutes or 3 hours. That's time you don't control. Most cars come with a spare tire, but many drivers never check it. Low pressure, worn condition, missing tools. That's not a backup. That's false confidence. Veterans and experienced drivers don't assume it works. They verify it. You need a properly inflated spare, a working jet, a lug wrench, and you need to know where they are. Because when a tire fails, you don't have time to figure it out from scratch. Now here's what matters. Independence. Changing a tire isn't complicated, but it requires the right tools. Without them, you're stuck waiting. With them, you're back on the road in minutes. During real roadside incidents, people who could change their own tire avoided long delays, risky locations, and unnecessary stress. The others waited. This isn't about skill. It's about capability. Because a flat tire is not a rare event. It's inevitable. And when it happens, you either handle it or you depend on someone else to do it for you. Item 3. Flashlight, because darkness removes options. Most roadside problems don't happen in perfect conditions. They happen in low visibility, during storms, on poorly lit roads. And the moment visibility drops, your options shrink. That's why a dedicated flashlight isn't optional. It's required. A basic LED flashlight costs around $8 to $12. Small enough for your glove compartment. Powerful enough to light up your work area. Now here's the mistake most people make. They rely on their phone. That's not a plan. Phone batteries drain fast, especially when you're already using them for calls, maps, or updates. And once that battery drops, you lose light and communication at the same time. That's a bad trade. A dedicated flashlight separates those functions. It gives you focused light for repairs, visibility for safe movement, signaling capability if needed. During real roadside incidents, people often waste critical time trying to work in poor lighting or draining their phone to compensate. Veterans and experienced drivers avoid that. They keep one tool for light. Always in the same place. Always ready. No searching. No guessing. Because when something goes wrong at night, you don't want to improvise. You want control. And control starts with being able to see clearly. Item 4. Tire pressure gauge. The problem you catch before it happens. Most people deal with tire problems after they happen. That's reactive. A tire pressure gauge lets you stay ahead of the problem. And it costs less than $10. Here's why it matters. Incorrect tire pressure is one of the most common causes of both poor fuel efficiency, uneven tire wear, loss of control at high speed, and you usually don't notice it until it becomes a bigger issue. Low pressure builds heat. Heat weakens the tire. Weak tires fail. Now you're not dealing with a slow leak. You're dealing with a dangerous situation on the road. A simple gauge takes seconds to use. Check each tire. Compare to recommended PSI, usually inside the driver door frame. That's it. Small habit. Big prevention. During long drives or seasonal changes, pressure fluctuates more than people expect. Cold air reduces PSI. Heat increases it. Without checking, you're guessing. And guessing at highway speeds isn't smart. Veterans and experienced drivers don't wait for warning lights. They verify conditions before they become problems. Because fixing pressure early is easy. Dealing with a blowout on the side of the road isn't. This isn't about adding gear. It's about preventing failure. Item 5. First aid kit, because small injuries don't stay small. Most drivers don't expect to need medical supplies on the road. That's the mistake. Because the most common incidents aren't major. They're minor. Small cuts, frips, burns, blisters. Individually, they don't seem serious. But in the wrong conditions, heat, dirt, delay, they escalate fast. A simple first aid kit costs around $10. You don't need complexity. You need essentials. Adhesive bandages, gauze pads, medical tape, antiseptic wipes. That's enough to handle the majority of roadside situations. Clean the wound. Cover it. Prevent infection. Simple process. Critical result. During real roadside events, access to medical help isn't immediate. You might be far from a clinic, stuck in traffic, waiting for assistance. What you have in your vehicle is what you use. Now here's the part most people ignore. Injuries affect function. A cut hand makes it harder to grip tools. A burn slows movement. An untreated wound becomes a bigger issue within hours. That means slower response. Poor decisions. More risk. Experienced drivers and veterans don't aim for perfect conditions. They plan to stay functional under imperfect ones. Because you're not just protecting comfort. You're protecting your ability to act. And in roadside situations, that's what matters most. Item 6. Multi-tool, one solution for multiple problems. Most roadside issues don't need a full toolbox. They need the right tool at the right moment. That's where a multi-tool comes in. Compact, durable. Around $15 to $25. One item that replaces several. Pliers, screwdrivers, wire cutter. Simple design. High utility. Now think about real situations. Loose battery terminal. Broken clip or fastener. Cutting zip ties or packaging. Tightening small screws. Without tools, these problems stop you. With the right tool, they take minutes. During roadside incidents, people often wait for help, not because the problem is complex, but because they don't have the basic capability to fix it. That's the gap. Veterans and experienced drivers don't carry everything. They carry what works. A multi-tool gives you flexibility without taking up space. Now here's what matters most. Accessibility. This tool shouldn't be buried in your trunk. It should be within reach, glove box, center console, door pocket. Because when something goes wrong, you act immediately. No searching. No delay. And here's the reality. You don't need to be an expert. You just need the option. Because small mechanical issues don't fix themselves. And having one reliable tool can turn a roadside problem into a quick solution. Item 7. Water, not optional, always necessary. Most people don't think about water in their car until they need it. And when they do, it's already a problem. Road delays happen. Breakdowns happen. Traffic stops for hours. And suddenly, you're sitting in a stationary vehicle with no access to anything. That's where water matters. Not for comfort. For function. At minimum, you should keep 1 to 2 liters per person. stored in sealed, durable bottles. Now here's what most people miss. Your car amplifies conditions. In heat, dehydration starts faster than expected. In cold, you still lose fluids. You just don't notice it as quickly. Either way, your body is affected. And once dehydration starts, focus drops. Reaction slows. Fatigue increases. That's when small problems become harder to manage. Water in your vehicle gives you hydration during delays, ability to clean small wounds, basic sanitation if needed. During real roadside situations, people have been stuck for hours with no access to stores or help. No movement, no resupply. What you have in the car is what you use. Now here's the key. Rotation. Don't leave the same bottles in your car for months. Heat degrades plastic. Water quality drops. Swap them out regularly. Simple habit. Reliable supply. Because when you're stuck on the road, you don't get a second chance to prepare. Item 8. Phone charger plus backup cable. Power you control. Most people assume their phone will be charged when they need it. That assumption fails at the worst time. Navigation running. Calls. Background apps. Battery drains faster than expected. Then something happens. Breakdown. Delay. Deter. And now you're at 5%. That's not enough. A basic car charger costs around $10. Add a backup cable for a few dollars more. Now you control your power. Your phone isn't just convenience. It's your communication, navigation, emergency contact, information source. Losing battery means losing all of that at once. During real roadside situations, people often drain their phones early, scrolling, checking updates, using unnecessary apps. Then later, when they actually need it, it's gone. That's backward. You preserve early. Now here's the part most people overlook. Cables fail. They bend. Stop working without warning. That's why you carry a second one. Because a charger without a working cable is useless. And finding a replacement on the road, late at night or in a remote area, isn't guaranteed. Veterans and experienced drivers remove that risk completely. One charger, one backup, always in the car. Because when something goes wrong, power isn't optional. It's essential. Item 9. Cash, the one thing that still works when everything else doesn't. This is the item most people ignore completely. Until they need it. And when they do, it's already too late. We've built our entire daily routine around digital payments. Debit cards, credit cards, mobile wallets. Convenient. But all of it depends on systems. Power, networks, processing. Remove any one of those, and transactions stop. During outages, system errors, or even simple network failures, businesses switch fast. Cash only. No exceptions. No negotiation. Now think about where you are when something goes wrong. Gas station. Roadside shop. Small restaurant. They might still be open. They might still have what you need. But without cash, you don't have access. And here's the part most people don't realize. ATMs don't solve this. No power equals no ATM. No network equals no withdrawal. So whatever you have on you at that moment, that's it. That's your limit. Veterans and experienced drivers understand this early. They don't carry large amounts. They carry smart amounts. Small bills. Easy to use. No need for change. Because in real situations, you don't need hundreds. You need fuel to get moving. Food during delays. Basic supplies when options are limited. And you need to pay immediately. No waiting. No system approval. Now here's the second layer. Cash gives you flexibility. Options. Maybe one station is down, but another is operating manually. Maybe a small roadside vendor is open when everything else is closed. Maybe someone can help, but only takes cash. Without it, you're stuck. With it, you move. And movement is everything. 9 items. Jumper cables. Spare tire. Flashlight. Tire gauge. First aid. Multi-tool. Water. Power. Cash. Nothing complicated. Nothing excessive. Each item solves a real-world failure point. Because your car isn't just transportation. It's your first line of response when something goes wrong. Most people assume everything will work. They deal with problems after they happen. Prepared drivers don't. They remove the problem before it starts. Because on the road, you don't rise to the situation. You fall to your level of preparation.